Tonight, before you go to sleep, you'll probably check your phone one last time, maybe scroll for a few minutes, maybe longer, and somewhere beneath the surface you might feel a strange restlessness. Not quite anxiety, not quite excitement. Your ancestors knew exactly what that feeling meant. For most of human history, the night before a hunt was one of the most important moments in life. Not the hunt itself, the night before. Because once the sun rose, people would walk into danger, and some of them would never return. What ancient humans did during those final hours shaped the human mind in ways that still affect you today. When most people imagine prehistoric hunting, they picture action, running, throwing spears, chasing animals across open landscapes. But survival often depended on something much quieter: preparation. Long before the hunt began, small groups would gather around a fire and talk about what would happen tomorrow. They discussed where animals had been seen, which paths to follow, and what dangers might be waiting. But they weren't just sharing information, they were rehearsing the future. Modern neuroscience shows that your brain reacts to imagined situations in surprisingly similar ways to real ones. When you picture tomorrow's important exam, job interview, or difficult conversation, your body begins preparing for it. Ancient humans did the same thing. They mentally walked through the hunt before it happened. They imagined mistakes. They imagined success. They imagined danger. And that preparation made them more likely to survive. That restless feeling you get before something important isn't a flaw. It's one of the oldest survival mechanisms in human history. But preparation wasn't only mental, it was also social. Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer groups have noticed something fascinating. Before major hunts, people often gathered together and sing. Not elaborate songs, but simple rhythms, shared breathing. Why? Because rhythm synchronizes people. When a group sings together, their breathing becomes similar, their heart rates begin to align, and stress becomes easier to manage. Thousands of years before psychology existed, humans had already discovered a powerful way to calm fear together. Music wasn't entertainment, it was survival technology. But here's where things become even more interesting. Ancient humans didn't only reduce fear, sometimes they deliberately increased it. Deep inside caves, prehistoric people created paintings of powerful animals, massive creatures that could injure or kill them. These paintings were often placed in dark chambers that required crawling through narrow passages to reach. Imagine standing there, with only flickering firelight illuminating the walls. The animals seem alive, the shadows move, your attention narrows. Modern scientists call similar experiences a pathway toward a state known as flow, a condition where distractions disappear and focus becomes intense. Ancient humans may have been creating that state on purpose. They weren't simply decorating caves, they were preparing their minds. And then there was another ritual. Many prehistoric groups covered themselves with red ochre, a natural red pigment found at archaeological sites more than 100,000 years old. They painted their hands, faces, and bodies. To modernize, it may look like decoration, but it was probably something much deeper. It marked a transformation. You were no longer just another person sitting beside the fire. You were becoming the hunter. Modern psychology has discovered something remarkable. Changing how you present yourself can actually change how you behave. Uniforms, sports jerseys, military clothing, and ceremonial dress can all influence confidence, focus, and identity. Ancient humans understood this long before science explained it. Before facing danger, they became someone different, someone ready. So what did ancient humans really do the night before a hunt? They rehearsed the future. They gathered around rhythm and song. They exposed themselves to controlled fear. They transformed their identities. And then, when morning arrived, they went. Most returned, some didn't, but the ones who survived passed these behaviors on through thousands of generations until they eventually became part of you. That's why, even today, the night before something important feels different. The fire is gone, the spears are gone, the hunt is gone, but your brain still remembers. And when you lie awake thinking about tomorrow, you're not experiencing a modern problem. You're experiencing an ancient instinct, the same instinct that once sat beside a fire, staring into the darkness, preparing for the hunt that would begin at sunrise.